What is going on, guys? So it's been a whole minute. First off, I want to thank you guys so much for getting me to 200 subs. I know that don't sound like a lot, but it's a start. Got to start somewhere. I hope y'all having a good one. Anyways, I'm ready to get this video started. I'm fixing to go over there right now and put some of the valve seals in, and I'm gonna try and put my crank bearings in, or my main bearings. So anyways, let's get to it. Oh, I forgot.
Need to rub it all over.
Yeah, I ain't got there yet. The other way. Yeah. That's the front. This is the back.
Just run backwards.
Yeah, alright. I can make it a front wheel drive then, couldn't I? Right there. So guys, we're gonna start with number 3, main cap, which is the middle one. There's only one way these caps will go in here. You look, there's a notch right here, notch right here. That means the cap's gonna go this way, just like that. Then you're gonna push it down, make sure it's firmly pressed down on both sides, just like that. If there's not an indicator or anything saying which way points to the forward, this notch right here is basically telling you that the main bearing needs to go to the front of the block. So before I put these in, we're going to put assembly lube on all these. It is a must unless you want to be back inside of this block, taking it back apart and putting new bearings in. So let me get some assembly lube and start putting this thing back in. So guys, as I was saying, got my assembly lube. We're just gonna put it on there nice and good. I'm gonna kind of rub it in. Center in place. And remember, the bolts with the studs go on the outside. Also, you need to add oil to these. I let mine sit in oil overnight, but there needs to be oil on your bolts whenever you go to install them. Kind of hand tighten those things. And these are your 1 through 10 bolts, so it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are your 1 through 10 bolts here. So anyways, want to hand tighten these real good. Make sure they're in there. That way whenever you go to tighten them, you ain't got to twist them a lot. And make sure they don't move around. Also, if you're going to plastic gauge them before you put all this oil and stuff on them. I already plastic gauged them before I started recording, and everything turned out just fine. So before I get negative comments, yes, I did gauge them, and they were perfect where I wanted them to be. So. See guys, so I could have messed up really bad. So I noticed whenever I put these in, they kind of look funny. They didn't look right. So look back in the book and I misread what it said. The only bearing that should be pointing towards the forward of the motor is number 5. These ears should be pointing forward. On 1, 2, 3, and 4, those should all be pointing backwards. So please make sure you always double check your stuff. I'm glad I double checked it because that could have been a real bad thing when putting this motor together. So like I said, this is the first time I put this motor together. So I'm not going to know everything. It's a learning experience. So if you're like me, just double check everything before you put it in because it can be very costly. Alright, so if we look right here, the inner bolts, which is 1 through 10, which is these right here with the flat heads on them, you want to tighten those down through to 15 foot-pounds, and then after you've done all of them, all of these at 15 foot-pounds, you want to tighten them an additional 80 degrees. So you're going to probably need a degree wheel or something you can reference to know how far you are actually turning those. So to show you guys that I ain't shooting the bull, it says be sure to tighten both side bolts on the main bearing cap before proceeding to next cap, and always install new side bolts or oil leaks may develop. So before tightening the next one down to spec, it says here that you need to put the side bolts, install the side bolts. It doesn't say torque the bolts down, it just says install the bolts. So I don't guess it really matters. But here is the bolt sequence right up here at the top. But yeah, don't forget it. I'm not going to reuse the side bolts. I'm going to reuse the side bolts, but I'm going to put high heat silicone on because they will leak, as it stated. So unless you got new bolts, you're okay. Other than that, you need to put silicone on the sides. So first things first, we're going to torque these down right here. We're going to go 1, 2, then we're going to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All those need to be 15 foot-pounds. So we're going to do that right quick. If you guys never have used a torque wrench before, here it says foot-pounds. So let me loosen this nut up. Hold on a second. All right, so here you got numbers. It's like 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. So we're going to go to 15 foot-pounds. That means we're going to twist it down to the number 10 right there, and 0 being dead on 10. That means it's dead on 10. If you go up one more, that means 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. That's where you stop. You'll tighten this end up, and that means you're dead on 15 foot-pounds. So as I stated earlier, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So after you do the inner ones to 15 foot-pounds, like I said, you're going to make a pass. You got to do 80 additional degrees. So that means you're going to turn this bolt 80 degrees. Me being, I can't do 80 degrees. I could do 90 because 90 is a straight elbow. I can't do 80. I don't want to just eyeball it. I want to do it right. So I'm going to go find a degree wheel. If not, I'll go rent one from the parts house or buy one. So give me a second. I couldn't find a degree wheel, so I went and got one offline. I printed one off with my printer, cut it out, and then put it on the wrench. Now, this thing needs to be 80 degrees. So on this wheel, you got 90, whatever, all your different specs. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from 0 and make your point. You can use a dot or whatever. I'm just going to I got it lined up over here with this bolt. So anyways, we got to torque these down to 80 degrees, so that's where we're going to go. So now we got to do the stud bolts. We're going to do them the same order as we did the inner ones. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the studs need to be torqued to 15 foot-pounds and an additional 50 degrees after that. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten these down to 15 foot-pounds. Of course, those are a different size. Hold on a second. Now, we are done torquing them bolts down. All we got to do is put the side bolts in. Whenever you go to put the side bolts in, you need some high heat RTV gasket maker or some sort of silicone that can stand high heat. Those will be torqued down to 18 foot-pounds. And they're going to go in the same order, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look here. 18 foot-pounds, and they are going to go in the same order as the other ones. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And those don't have to be degreed, just strictly 18 foot-pounds. Whenever you go to put these bolts and stuff in, you're going to put a small bead of gasket maker on the head. And like I said earlier, you want to plastic gauge everything or a filler gauge or something. I've already done it, so I know I'm good. Next thing you got to do is check the thrust. That is the forward and backward motion of the crankshaft. All you do is you stick a filler gauge in there and check the gap between the cap and the crank. But I've already done that as well, so whatever to spec you want. I'll have to look it up and make sure what the measurement was. It wasn't a whole lot, but anyways, I'll put it up here above the video. And that there is how you install main caps and a crank. Guys, I just want to stop the video right here and let y'all know this stuff is really freaking easy. It doesn't take a professional to do this. Like I said, I'm a beginner at this. This is the second motor I've ever built. My first one was a Chevrolet 350. I helped my daddy do some Toyota motors a couple of times, but not really. I didn't really fully do those. I'm doing this one like completely by myself. He's helping me every now and then, but I got a book and it tells you word for word, picture for picture how to do it. There's books out there, there's forums out there. So don't feel afraid to dig into it and start doing it. Honestly, it's not even building the motor that's hard. It's just the wiring. If you go to build your harness, that's the most difficult part, is building the harness, and that's one reason why I went with the TAHOE Terminator. It's really a plug and play, and I can tune it on the go. But you can always have somebody build your harness if you don't feel like doing it. But there are also a ton of forums out there with the wiring on those harnesses. It's super easy. The books, there's videos, YouTube videos everywhere out there for LS swaps. If you cannot find a video, please message me. There's LS. I guarantee you can find an LS swap for a Prius out there. I mean, it's just that easy. It's not difficult. There's Facebook pages. Follow Facebook pages. Ask questions. That's what they're there for. If you don't know what to do, ask. I mean, it's straight to the point. But anyways, let's just get back to this video and get everything finished up on this motor. So guys, if you're looking with me, this seal will only go on one way because this plug right here, it will not go the other way. So there's honestly no way possible you can get them mixed up. But anyways, I'm gonna put this baby on. Got a straight edge to line it up with the bottom of the block here for the oil pan. So and you're going to torque these down to 18 foot-pounds. Also, I'm going to here in a little bit, but you need to put some silicone right here. Horrible design from GM. It'll make your rear main leak from the top of your oil pan, because that's where your oil pan comes together right there. It meets this. So anyways, before you go to put your oil pan on, put some silicone right there. You'll be all right. Alright guys, so now it's time to install the cam. Ordered a stage 4 cam from Summit Racing. Here's the specs if you want to look at that. But anyways, now that we got the rear main seal on, we can install our nice pretty cam here. I would put on gloves, but I don't have any gloves because this is a messy job. But you need to lube up this cam before installing it to prevent metal wear whenever you first go to crank it. So I'm just going to lube this puppy down with a bunch of assembly lube, and then we'll put her in. Also guys, if you want to know where I got the full gasket set from, it literally comes with everything you need to rebuild this motor. This is the part number, I'm thinking, there it is, 953561. It's for 4.8 and 5.3s. This is for 02 through 03 Vortex. But it literally comes with everything, so that's what I've been using for this build. I was going to order for Summit, but I could not find the set from Summit. So I went to Jegs, and pretty pissed off with Jegs because it literally took like 3 weeks for them to ship it out. But anyways, finally got it. They made it right for me, so we're going to put this timing plate cover on. They said to do it, so let me clean off the bolts and then we'll put this on. So, like the rear main seal, these will torque to 18 foot-pounds as well. Again, make sure your mating surface is clean, no oil or nothing like that for best results. Alright guys, so I got me a double roller chain here with adjustable. I want to advance my cam 2 degrees, so I'm going to slide the A2 over the key. But your crank timing, I put it 2 degrees advance, so I'll put the key at 2 degrees, then marked this 2 degree marker even with this dot on the cam. So we'll tighten these up and then we'll rotate it to 12 o'clock. If you are not, if you're running the standard timing chain, all you're going to do is just line this dot up with the dot on your crank. So that'd be top 0 degrees. So now you're going to torque these to 26 foot-pounds. This isn't going to be a lot. This is just going to be 18 foot-pounds. It tells you to put the oil pan on there first in the manual, but I've done some research and everybody said they just put the timing cover on first. Ain't a big deal. I might have the silicone here anyways. So 18 foot-pounds it is. Also, with this oil pump, this Melling oil pump, with me having the double timing gear chain, I didn't have to do any cutting for this cover. A lot of people said with the stock ones they did because of fitment issues. They had to trim it up with a Dremel tool, but I did not have to. Thank God, everything worked just fine. So, just thought I'd throw that in there. And I ain't gonna paint the motor till after I get everything together. So that's that. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me shut this camera up. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I tried to do it as detailed as I could for you guys. So anyways, if you like what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me. Let me know what y'all think. Hit me up with ideas. If I did anything differently that you think is a little bit better, drop it down in the comments to let me know for the future. But anyways, y'all have a good one.